Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. We are pleased to be joined by Alex Waszczenko, the QB of Clarkston. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
So how's the offseason going?
It's been pretty well. We got a good group of guys, and just staying busy. Our coaches are always having to stay busy, and a lot of 7-on-7s, a lot of lifts. Guys getting time with our guys, building our chemistry, and it should be a fun year. It should be a good year for us.
Yeah. I know that it was a really good year for you last year, starting as a sophomore and really impressing. And correct me if I'm wrong. Have Was that your first year on varsity or was that your freshman year?
Freshman year, I got pulled up later in the year
Okay.
for corner, but this was my first year starting.
So how did it go? Like, how do you? I'm pretty. How would you rate yourself? Because I don't know. I mean, sometimes you're your own biggest critic, as they say. But how do you feel like you did?
I mean, yeah, I of course I got a ton to improve on. I got a lot to still unravel. So I kind of took that year as a learning year. I still thought I did okay for the position I was put in, but I still got a lot to prove and still got a lot that I need to work on and improve on, and I know I can.
Yeah, the thing is, you're playing for a program that has had a lot of success in a division that's probably one of the best in the entire state.
Yeah.
What is that like to play? You got Lake Orion, you got Oxford, you got Rochester Adams, you got West Bloomfield, and all the other teams you have on your schedule this year. How does the schedule help you prepare to be a better QB and just a better overall player?
Yeah, going into practice every single day, knowing that every single week is a big game, it helps a lot. I think it's going to help in the on the next level. Just knowing treating every single practice like it's a game, because knowing that Friday it's gonna be a big old game, and I think that's why we do so well in playoffs because of our schedule. So that's what Clarkson brings, and if you come to Clarkson, you'll play a lot of big football games. So
Yeah. So coming into this season in your junior year, like now that you've been through a season, what is that? How do you feel heading into this season? Now you got a full year under your belt at QB.
yeah, last year there was a lot of big games, so I learned a lot from them. Learned how to deal with pressure, how to control the team as a sophomore. So taking that into this year and obviously this offseason working on my mechanics, everything I can to do to be a better quarterback. Um, and yeah, just leading my team in a different way this year and having a little bit more control. So that's something I'm able to work on this year.
And really with the division, I know kind of the theme around the league is either you've lost a lot or you didn't lose any.
Mhm.
For Clarkston, it looks like a lot of people are coming back. What's that like to have basically really not losing a lot of guys?
Yeah, we got a real good 26 group. A couple guys from our 27 group that'll help us a lot, but our 26 group we got a lot of coming back, especially on our O line and our defense, and got both our running backs coming back that are going to be 4-year players for us. So just having guys that are experienced, I think, will help us a lot in the long run and in big games like that. Um, and yeah, I think that'll take us far.
Yeah. How is there something like before? Like I want to get in your head a little bit. I know we kind of talked about this last time you were on here, but just kind of go over like what it's like for you before a game.
Before a game, knowing that Clarkson brings a big crowd every single game, there's a lot of noise under the lights, so I try to just calm myself down, kind of meditate a little bit, and get into that mode. And just go out there and play.
Yeah. Uh, heading into this season, I know you talk about you're playing a big game every week. I mean, it starts literally week one with Belleville. You got to play against Bryce Underwood, of course, who's at Michigan now. What was it like to play a team like that? And you guys hung in there for a lot of that game.
Yeah, that one still stings a little bit, knowing that we could have pulled away with it, but that we didn't. But it was a good experience. As that being my first start, no other way to break in your first varsity football game is to play against a team like that with talent like that. So definitely learned a lot. Definitely showed how much I need to improve, and I think I can take that going into week one this year and try to come off that and be better.
What is, I know we talked about the division that you play in, but as as a QB, I know we've talked to a lot of the OAA Red QBs that have been on here. What's it like for you to just play in this division?
Yeah, this division I think is the best division in Michigan. I mean, it's a gauntlet every single year. And I think last year it's been the most competitive it's been recently. Uh, I think it'll be just like that this year, and it shows it brings the best out of every single team, and it's always a good matchup with the OA Red teams every single week. So it's tough playing in that division for sure.
As you kind of figure out like the conference and everything else, I know we've mentioned the division teams. Of course, you're playing Belleville, but you also got you have Harper Woods right after that. You know, Troy's on the schedule, Farmington, and then of course ending the and also ending with Utica Eisenhower. It's a loaded schedule every single week, but it's a challenge every single week, and I know you're up for it.
Absolutely, yeah. Um, I think Clarkston every single year we always have a loaded schedule, and I think that makes us battle ready for playoffs. It makes us test ready. So we'll see the type of team that we are as we do every single year with a schedule like that. And yeah, Harper Woods would be a good team, good test for us. A little bit of different style that we play against. Unlike the OAA Red, like they like to throw the ball a lot and attack us vertically. So it'll be a good game.
Yeah. You know, I know it's only a couple more weeks until practice starts. Like, what are you doing during this time right now? Is there's really, I mean, yeah, there's 7-on-7s going on, but there's really not a lot that's going to be going on until it really gets going on the 11th. What are you going to do in these next 2 weeks, maybe on the field and off the field, to get you ready for what's to come?
Mm-hmm. Trying to build everybody. I mean, just build our chemistry as much as we can. I mean, we all love each other real well, and I mean, we got good chemistry throughout this team. So just keeping that going, staying in the weight room with everybody, building camaraderie with everybody. So just keeping that up to
Yeah.
practice.
Okay. All right, Alex. I know we didn't get to know you a little bit on last time you were on here, so let's get to know you now. What is most memorable game you've been a part of?
Most memorable game, I would either say week one against Belleville or our first playoff game, my first playoff win against our rivals Lake Orion. I thought that rival game against Lake Orion was a big one. We lost there a couple of weeks ago at their homecoming, and it stung for a couple of weeks. That next couple of weeks we came and beat Eisenhower pretty good, and we were just letting off steam from that loss, and luckily we got to play Lake Orion again and repay that favor. So it was a good win. I think that
Yeah.
was most memorable.
Who's your favorite player growing up? Did you have one or?
My grandparents live in like the South Carolina North Carolina border, so they're Carolina Panther fans. So I was a big fan of Cam Newton. Um,
Yeah.
I watch a lot of Caleb Williams. He's someone I look up to and try to model my game after, and as well as like Bryce Young and Justin Fields.
Okay. And finally, like if you're not playing football, you're not going to school, what do you like? What do you like to do?
Just recently, I'm not the best, but I recently started getting into golf. Uh,
Okay.
Going with my friends, going to play some golf, and trying to get better. It's good to have a little versatility, get some off my mind when I'm not playing football. So
Yeah,
yeah, starting to like golf and hanging out with my friends, doing all that lifting.
absolutely. How far can you drive the ball?
Uh, best one I got on a par four, I drilled it over the green. It was
Oh,
like a
nice.
250 par four. So yeah,
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is with golf, it's like it relieves stress. It may
right.
cause more stress if you it could
If you're
cause more
playing good,
stress too.
yeah,
So,
right.
um, but But anyway, Alex, thank you so much for taking the time to do this, and best of luck
Sir.
this season. And we'll talk to you later on.
Sir, appreciate it. Thanks for having me.